It was a loaded itinerary for the President, His Excellency Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya A.J.J. Jammeh Babili Mansa on the penultimate day of his nationwide tour. With barely 48 hours before Gambians take to the polls on December the 1st, Professor Jammeh addressed thousands of supporters in the coastal town of Bakau before presiding over mass rallies in Sukuta and Sinthiou Alhaji that lasted late into the night. The President took to the floor at all the meetings to reaffirm his call for a violence-free election, stressing that perpetrators of crime during and after the election will face the full force of the law. President Jammeh renewed his condemnation of tribalism in the same tone that set the pace for what has been a fulfilling tour so far, calling on Gambians to desist from politics based on tribal lines. For the Gambia, he noted, will continue to depend on God for progress, peace, and prosperity. At a crowded venue in Sukuta, the President took special time to offer an exclusive interview to the local and international press that was on the ground. The President used the interview to address issues including his uncompromising stance against the incitement of violence and the unprecedented development ushered in by his government.
I've taken Gambia from stone age to a modern country. Here, the son of any Gambian, or anybody living in this country can go to any university in the world, irrespective of the social background of the family. We've made free medical care for all pregnant women throughout the country, something that is unprecedented in Africa, not even in the UK. This is the only country in the world where medical care in government hospitals costs you 5 cents, or less than 5 US cents. You cannot have that anywhere in the world. We have free secondary school education coming down to primary. And in 2018, we're going to have free university education. Up to now, 98% of the students in the university are on scholarship. So, why do you think Gambia should not vote for me? When we took over, there were only 2 high schools in this country owned by government. And those high schools were donated by the British, question mark, because also the British didn't build those schools. The Methodist Boys High School was built by the Methodist Mission, that gave it to the British government, the colonial government, that in turn gave it to the Gambia government as a gift for our independence. From only 2 high schools, and when I took over the country, there were only 3.4 megawatts of electricity throughout the country. We had only 2 hospitals. Today you have no Gambian would walk 25 kilometers without reaching a major health center. The north bank of the river Gambia, patients used to cross the river 4 times. And most of them, you cross the river to the other bank, you have to look for a donkey cart or a horse cart to take the patient. Imagine, and then the roads were horrible roads.
Addressing multitudes of supporters in Sinthiou Alhaji that defied the cold weather shortly before dawn to hear from their leader, the President further challenged registered voters to take to the queues on election day, pointing out that government, which is the sole sponsor of the election, spent a lot of resources on logistics, such as the production of voters' cards. As they paid maximum attention to the message drove home by Professor Jammeh, the leader of the revolution exposed a scheme that was orchestrated by some Western powers bent on deceiving his government into exploring the country's oil at the expense of Gambians. Nonetheless, he pointed out that time is now due for Gambians to benefit from the country's natural resources. The APRC Mobilizer General, Mayor Yankuba Koli, said the APRC will continue to remain a peaceful party and called on militants to nurture a high sense of discipline throughout the electoral process. The Minister of Works and APRC campaign manager, Honorable Bala Gaba Jahumpa, disclosed a number of communities that will benefit from the provision of electricity and water supply. He called on Gambians to vote for Professor Jammeh so as to continue his unprecedented development crusade. The Minister of Information, Sheriff Bojang, called on Gambians to unite and rally behind the APRC, saying victory for the President is certain. He challenged Gambians to repay President Jammeh for what he called unprecedented socio-economic advancement by overwhelmingly voting for him on December the 1st. The Governor of West Coast Region, Aminata Sifai Hydra, assured the President of a landslide victory in the area. Several other speakers from the respective communities, including the Alcalo of Bakau, Luntanding Jaite, Salif Sise of Sinthiou Alhaji, and Councillor Ibrahima Cham of Sukuta, all pledged their support and loyalty to the APRC. The president is expected to conclude his tour with a meeting in Banjul today. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Issa Sow.